And welcome back. You'll notice up here with the graphite modeling tool we've got the polygons selected at the moment, and you can see that we have all our options down here, etc. But with the graphite modeling, as you can see, it's got poly modeling there, so a lot of what is over here is also represented up here. And sometimes it is actually easier going into the graphite modeling tools and selecting the options as opposed to popping over here. I mean, it's like I'm using the Swift loop now. Well, in order to put a Swift loop, or to put a loop into this, I would, as we know, have to select all these along here, then go down and say connect. Whereas with the Swift loop, there it is, it's in there. I mean, here we can see that I could use this to do an extrude, a bevel, a bridge, geo, poly. Now, there's something. Flip. You remember we had to convert this to an editable mesh before we could flip it. And yet here it's saying we could flip it there. We've got hinge, but we've also got hinge from edge down here. Subdivisions, we can do a mesh smooth or tessellate it. Use displacements. Tris or trice. Yep, align, make planar. Visibility, hide the selected. So now instead of right clicking on here, pulling up my quad menu and going through this, you know, such as hide selection, etc. So it's kind of doing away with that, isn't it? And that's just for poly. When we select something else, it'll bring up a whole new range of selections for us. Anyway, let's get back to this. Okay, so let's zoom about. Now, back into edge. I'm going to select that edge there, press shift, and let's loop it. What I want to do is actually put a bit of a chamfer on that, just a little one. Let's zero it out and go, is it 0.01? Yep, 0.01 on that one. Let's say OK. Select that one. Let's go shift, bridge. Now it should give me 0.01 again. Not bridge. What am I saying? Bridge. Right, X, chamfer. I've got bridge on the brain. Let's say OK on that one. Right, now let's zoom around again. Still on edge. Okay, let's pop up to edit. Or Swift loop again. Now I'm looking down here at this section there. Okay, I'm going to put a loop in about there, and one just about there. Right click, down to polygons, deselect those, select one there, press shift, and what I want now is to do an extrude. So pop down to an extrude, but I want to do a negative extrude on this one. So let's pop down, well, certainly not, let's zero it first of all and go -1, 2, about 3 should do, and say OK on that. Right, let's have a look. I do know I moved it out of the middle not so long ago. Let me go into the left viewport, that's L, do a zoom, pull out. I really need to get this centered, so up to root and just move that across a little bit. About there will do. Okay, so looking at this top section now, let's zoom in again. I'm going to go back into perspective. I do prefer working in the perspective viewport. So we've got that section there, so we can select polygon. Let's pop into poly, select that one, press Control, I'm going to select the polygon above, press Shift, select that one, press Shift, bubbles, undo that one. Okay, what I'm going to do is Control, we'll do it the normal way, select all of those, so ignore back facing was unchecked, so that means all the polys at the back have been selected. Let's pop down and extrude this. I want this extruding by 0.4 this time, so 0 it, and then up 1, 2, 3, 4. Say OK on that one. Now this one here, just down the bottom, needs to be extruded just that little bit more. So pressing Alt, let's deselect those, and now extrude this one by about 0.4 again, and say OK on that. Okay, now I'm going to pop into vertices here and select all these at the bottom. Then I'm going to press R for our scale tool, click it in the center, and I just want to scale this in about there. As you can see, it tapers down to that section, so we'll go there like that. And let me just grab one of those vertices there and pivot round it. Okay, let's come back up to the editable section. W for our move tool, pull that back a bit. In fact, I'm going to go into the front now, so that's F on our keyboard. Let's zoom in, and I'm actually going to start getting this lined up, so we're up on that. Let me take this over first of all, put it more or less in the position where I need it, then select this part here and just take that over to there. Now you'll notice with this as well, everything needs lining up. That's on a slight angle, but again, I'm not going to do that until I've finished working on all these sections here. So let's bring that across to there a little bit. Let's have a look now. Okay, put it back into perspective view, that's P on the keyboard. Come back a little bit, back into vertex. I've got that one selected so I can pivot around that. Now into edge, just rotate around here. I want to select excuse me, I need to select that edge there. So let's just pop there for that one, select that one, and as we know, press Shift. And what I'm going to do now is just take our scale tool here, press Shift and pull this inwards a little bit. So I am extruding it, but I've done it this way as opposed to popping in and doing it that way. Extrude there. Then if I take our select and move tool, so that's W on our keyboard, press Shift again, I can actually bring that up just a touch there. Now let's pop up to edit, swift loop. I just want to stick a swift loop round there, about there. Back into polygons, right click to get rid of the swift loop, select that polygon there, press Shift. I just want to extrude these a little bit, so down to extrude 0.4. yes, I'll say OK with 0.4. okay, now left, right, so I want to go into the right viewport, so that's R. No, it isn't. up here. Left, right. Yeah, there's no hotkey for right. Should have known. Zoom. Pull back a little bit. Now, what I want to do is deselect some of these polygons here. So press Alt. In fact, select that tool. Select Alt. I'm going to deselect those. So deselect those as well. Put it into perspective. Zoom around. Have a look. Be about there. Let's come in a little bit more. I'm just counting those. Yep, that looks okay. So now to extrude. Shift around. I want to increase this. Say about there. And okay. Now I need to straighten all these out, so let's pop down and we want to make planar. Now that's Z there, Y there, X there. It's not Z. Always gets me does this. I want it Z there, Y there, X. That's the one. Okay, now let's grab our scale tool, and what I want to do is bring those in and get them scaling to that angle there. Let's have a look around. That's looking quite good. Our move tool, let's just pull those out a little bit more. Yep, I'm pleased with that. Now this is a section where one of these braces are going to fit into. So it's got to fit into there. So we're creating the bracket for it here. Yeah, that looks okay. You know, I really do tend to lose all track of time when I'm doing this. Right, I guess you know what's coming. We'll continue this in the next session. So, till then, I'll catch you later.